Barev, and welcome to another episode of Konnakol 2020. Today is 12th of February 2020. My name still is Carlitos from Slovenia, and this is what I have prepared for you today. Tata kita taka junu ding tata kita taka junu ding tata kita taka junu ding tadikinatan 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 ding tadikinatan 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 ding tadikinatan 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 ding. So this was a new variation of the most recent korvai that I presented on episode 41, which is in itself was reintroduced. Never mind. Go to episode 41. The link is in the video's description, and you can go there and then check yesterday's episode as well to get up to speed. So, latest variation of that korvai, it was rendered in tishra nadai, meaning six subdivisions per beat. It was 2 avartanams long, that means 96 aksharas. And it's important to see that the structure, how it relates to the other two previous versions of the korvai. So now I'm going to put all of these 3 korvais together on screen so you can better understand what's going on. So quickly, the day before yesterday, I showed you this korvai that it was very simple structure. 12 3-poles, 12 3-poles, 12 3-poles. And the tirmanam, of course, in the last line of 5-5-5, 3-gap, 5-5-5, 3-gap, 5-5-5. Then we mixed things up. We complicated things a bit yesterday by taking 4 beats out of the first line and adding them to the third line. We just took 4. The 12 became 8, and then we added to the third line, so the 12 became 16. So far, so good. And what we're doing today, again, we are looking at the first korvai, the one on the left of the screen, as our reference. And what we do, instead of taking 4, we're taking 2. So the 8 becomes 10 on the first line, and the 12 becomes 14 on the third. Because as you know, we are still in the same cycle. We need to have the same number of aksharas so that it fits properly into avartanams of Aditalam. How to play these new phrases of 10 and 14 is interesting, and you can see that on the bottom left. The 10 we play as tata kita taka junu. So it's very close to the phrase for 8, but we just add one gap, one space after the first part. Tata kita, taka junu. The phrase for 12, of course, remains unchanged. And the phrase for 14 is slightly different. It is composed also of 2 parts, and each has 7 beats. So it's ta, ta, kita. And the next part is ta, ka, junu. Meaning that it is subgrouped, that phrase of 7, into 4 plus 3. As always, the phrase for 3-gap and for 5 in the tirmanam remains completely unchanged. Trust me, there's enough work with the first part to be, complicating ourselves with the tirmanam. Anyway, I wanted now to show you how all these phrases relate to each other, because I think it's very important. It can really help understand what's going on. So now you can see the phrases for 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16 beats that we've seen along these 3 variations of the same korvai. The phrase for 8, which we used yesterday, is simply tatakita takajunu, all the syllables without any pause in between. The phrase for 10, which we introduced today, I just told you, is tatakita takajunu. The phrase for 12 was our central and only phrase 2 days ago, which was tata, kita, taka, junu. And the phrase for 14 is the kind of like one odd one out, but hey, you need to work with what you got. And it's the phrase for 7 times 2. It's going to be more irregular. So it's ta, kita, taka, junu. And the phrase for 18, which we saw yesterday, is tata, kita, taka, junu. The most square, so to speak, if you are in Chaturashanadai, which we are not. So this 16 is, it grooves in a different way. One final thing before we go practice this together is that just like with yesterday's version, this one is kind of hard to get right at the beginning because we are subdividing in 6 and the phrases that we have do not really divide by 6. A 10, if you divide it by 6, we are not going to get a round number, and neither will be for 14. So just like with yesterday's version, the way for you to anchor yourself within the recitation is the last thing before we go to the korvai, which it is highlighted in red on screen. So that thing falls on the 7th beat, on downbeat on the 7th beat. So that's kind of like your touchstone. That helped me a lot while learning this korvai, and it might help you as well. So having said all that, let's try to recite this together. As always, we first do half a cycle of adi talam in tishra nadai in this case, and then we go straight to that. So ready? Go. Takita 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 takajunu ding ta kita takajunu ding ta kita takajunu ding tadikinatum 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 ding tadikinatum 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 ding tadikinatum 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 ding. So the second line, which is 12/3 gap in this particular version of the korvai, it's all off beat. It all starts after one beat. So after you've landed, okay, that's exactly after one beat out of 6 it starts. So it's all kind of disjointed, so you need to pay extra attention to that. So it's interesting that even though it would be the most, square phrase because it's 12 and we are in a cycle subdividing in 6, 12 divided by 6 is 2. Well, it's not the case when you start after 1. So it's all kind of, displaced. Anyway, it's a beautiful korvai. You'll get it in the end, trust me. I think that's all for today. So if you have any question, doubts, comments, or anything, leave them down in the comments so I can maybe at a later time answer those questions or address them in a future video. If you like what you're seeing, you are welcome to subscribe to the channel. And I guess that's all. I have been Carlitos from Slovenia, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.